Hey friends, I'm back with another video. What am I doing? I'm over here on Oakwind, just messing around a little bit. I have an enchanter. Let's see, they're about level 15, and I'm trying to earn myself a little money. And how am I doing that? Well, I'm running the Stein quest because it's a relevant magic item when you're considering original Everquest. It's only really relevant during original EQ through maybe Kunark. Uh, it's pretty easy for an enchanter to get. It just involves a lot of running or being really good friends with a druid or maybe a wizard. I don't have any druid or wizard friends right now. So I'm doing the dangerous run, and one part of it is this little bit of runny eye, which if you saw my little comment on my YouTube page community area the other day, was talking about how I got killed. I think I posted about it on there anyway. But I got really lucky in the sense that, unlucky I was killed, but lucky that a very kindly cleric answered my call when I chatted in one of the general chats. You could say I always got going on up there, asking for a cleric in Runny Eye, and they showed up like right away, like within 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. And I didn't have any plat to give him. He didn't even ask for plat. But I'm like, you do me a solid like that, I can't not give you something. So after getting my first Stein, I sold it right away because I didn't have any money at all on the server. I went and I sent him I think I sent him 10 or 20 plat, something like that. Not too much because, I still don't have much. But I thought, hopefully they would have, oh my god, Evil Eye, appreciate the gesture. Luckily, that one does not see invis. Some of these Evil Eyes can see through invis, which sucks. I'm going to make sure the Minotaurs can't see through invis either. Yeah, because as you see, everything here is level 20. It could pretty much kill me pretty easy, especially that Evil Eye. It can root. But you see, I've got a Spirit of the Wolf. I've got a Sow, luckily. So I can at least run through here pretty quick. So the run is through Rivervale, then Misty, then Rivervale, Misty, Runny Eye, Gorge of King Zorb, and then we're entering the eastern plains of Karana. Sorry, my phone was on and making noises, and I try to always keep it off when I'm filming. And I don't know, I like to try to have a small ounce of professionalism. I know I'm just a guy playing EQ, but I think everybody should try to be somewhat professional in what they do, even if it's just being a goofball playing a video game. So now we're going through the Karana, and hopefully nothing here kills me. There's a lot of stuff at level 15 that can kill me. This is a great place to get spider silk. At this level, I was already over here with Fez the other day, killing some of these carrion spiders. They're a little bit lower level than the giant ones, the crag spiders or whatever they are, the big red and black widow looking ones. Those drop the most silk, but the carrion ones still drop a decent amount. Usually, anywhere from 1 to 3 pieces of silk, which is better than nothing. And it's the large silk, it's not the spiderling silk, because you need the large silk to make things like a raw silk robe, which this enchanter is wearing. raw silk leggings, which they're also wearing. So it doesn't have stats, raw silk gloves, raw silk sandals, but it's better than cloth, regular cloth. It's got, like, I think a little bit more AC than just cloth that drops off mobs. And, you know, it looks a little nicer. It instead of that pale yellow robe, I have a mustard yellow robe now. So I guess I like mustard more than the pale yellow anyway. The pale yellow one you get as a newbie just sucks. Plus it's got much better AC. I think the pale yellow one you get, the newbie robe, is like 2 AC, and the raw silk that you can craft is 6 AC. So a little better armor class on all of these pieces that I made. And if you're don't remember the Stein and Magog, what it is, here's the stats: 10 intelligence, 5 dex, 10 hit points, 25 save versus disease, and it has 3 charges of light healing, and which I usually end up making a hotkey and putting it down there. So if I do get attacked and I'm like about to die in a pinch, I could chug one of the charges, you know, of my Stein. So that's why sometimes when you see me drinking and I'm using my Stein, I'm like, yes, this is my intelligence and health buff. It's because, you know, I'm thinking it's like, you know, because it's got the charges of healing and stuff. So, yeah. This part, what is this? North Karana? Yeah, North Karana can be nasty too, because we got griffins flying around and we got hill giants. I saw a bunch of hill giants here the other day. My see invis is going away. Okay, but I'm still invisible. So if you're doing this run, if you're playing Enchanter and you're doing this run, I always suggest getting Spirit of the Wolf and invisibility if you can, because it just goes that much quicker, that much smoother if you're not being attacked. I try not to let myself get tempted into fighting or attacking any roaming mobs. Sometimes I see something, you know, tempting, like a large spider, and I'm like, ooh, it's gonna have silks, you know. If it's got crafting supplies, it's a tempting target for me. I don't know, man. I'm a crafting fiend. Or if it's like this silver mist wolf, it's like it's probably got like a medium quality or high quality wolf pelt, and that's gonna give me skill ups in tailoring. But I'm like, no, just stay invisible, and your Spirit of the Wolf only has 20 minutes left on it. So hurry the fuck up before it runs out, and then you're running at the normal pace, which really sucks. I think the normal velocity is 30, and with Spirit of the Wolf, it's 40. So it's still not even great, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? I made a photo and text post on my YouTube page in the community part, but I wanted to also add it to this video. I wanted to thank Izaru for being awesome. I'm not sure if we've spoken before on like through comments or through the Discord or something, but they sent me, what was it, like 89 or 98 plat, something like that. It was kind of an odd number, but send me some plat. They send me a loam encrusted sash belt thing and the shining metallic robes. And shining metallic robes, that's lower guck, man. During original Everquest, like Oakwind is right now, it's only original. That's like high-end tier. That's like just about the top tier robes you can get. Especially, it's also for a component for the, what is it, the Enchanter Epic. They need it. And it goes for a lot. You could sell those for several hundred platinum. I would think it'd be like at least 500 plat or something right now on this server. But I don't know because prices are always a little strange on a new server. Because I've seen people trying to buy Chrono, for example, which Chrono, I don't completely agree with Chrono, but that's just my opinion, so you can ignore that if you want. But people trying to buy and sell Chrono for like just 500 plat. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to spend like, what is it, 15, 16 plat when my invis dropped. Or, I mean, 15, 16 US dollars just to get 500 plat. Because I could get 500 plat easy enough just by running the Stein and Magog quest 3 times. Because on average, Stein and Magog sell for 200 plat. So, yes, it's a lot of running. Yes, it's boring and dull, like this uneventful run. But then again, I'd rather have a boring and uneventful run than one being chased by a freaking hill giant when my spirit of the wolf is about to fade away. And you know you're going to die, but you've got that little ounce of hope in the back of your head that says, no, just keep running. Maybe somebody higher level will come along and kill it before it nails you. But every time before you zone, that hill giant baps you in the back of the head, laughs his ass off, and just walks away. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Somebody left a bear. Oh, it's got meat on it. I guess I'll loot that. My invis dropped. I shouldn't be doing that because it's a waste of time. Like, as far as, you know, the Spirit of the Wolf. I'm mostly worried about the Spirit of the Wolf buff wearing off. But I should make it to Quanos by that time. If it runs out by the time I get to Quanos, well, that's not a big deal at all. So what do we need in Quanos? Well, so far, these are the parts of the quest I have. I already have one of the books, or the compendium. You turn in the compendium to get the Stein. But I also have my Keola nuts and honey gum. So I'm already getting ready for another Stein. So I just keep going and trying to grind these out. And so I'll have like sort of a Stein to sell and then 2 in the pipe. Which means if I sell this one, then I just go to Agok to turn in the book to Clerg, the bartender, the ogre bartender. And then you turn in the other parts, which is the nut, the honey gum. There's a fish and a Urid's tonic. Urid's tonic? You get it in Uridin. So maybe I'll make the video just long enough to get those things. Show you how it's done. Although you've probably seen videos, because I've seen several videos on how it's done posted on YouTube, and they're all pretty good. So I don't really feel the need to do a whole video on it. The Spirit of the Wolf on my pet's fading, but that doesn't really matter. I shouldn't need the pet for anything. So if you want to do this quest and you like watching videos, if you really want me to do a video on it, sure, I'll do one. But there's plenty of other videos already on YouTube on doing the Stein and Magog. And if you're curious, what weapon do I have? Ooh, a giant snake fang from a snake that I killed. It was just better than anything else that I had at the time. And this is on my Fezzle Win. This is on the Enchanter. I think with Fezzle Wig, after I got some plat, I actually purchased a regular staff. This one, oh, this one has a regular staff too. So the staff that you could just buy from a merchant is 528. So it's got a ratio of 0.178, which is way better than a cracked staff, which is what I was using until recently. Or a tarnished dagger. So, yeah. I wanted to try to craft a dagger, but I couldn't find the molds, I gotta go to another city. I'm thinking maybe if I use Origin and go back to a Canon, I can find some molds there. But my mage, Fezzle Wig, he has the trade skills so far on this server. I've been working on blacksmithing with him, mostly making studs and boning, because you need studs and boning to tailor studded and reinforced leather, which is great. You can, just about anybody can use that stuff. And I don't expect to be making any real money by selling studded and leather, but I will get the skill ups, and then I can make, more raw silk and stuff without failing. And the real goal is eventually to get up to where I can make the handmade backpacks, because those are 10 slot and 10% weight reduction. Right. There's also the, what is it, a reinforced medicine bag? Is that what it's called? And that's with a thick grizzly bear skin, I believe. Something like that. And a silk cord. And I think that's also 10 slots and 10% weight reduction. So it's basically just as good as the backpack, except you don't need a backpack pattern to make it. So, yeah. So here we go, the home stretch. We're in the Quanos Hills zone. So all we got to do is go to Quanos, and I have a mule that I made. I made a little human mage that's just living in Quanos, and their whole usage, their whole goal in life is just to kill the fish for me. And to have a mage is just great, because all you have to do is level the mage up to level 2. Just go around killing some skeletons and yard trash in the front of Quanos, right? And that way they get their first pet, they get their water pet at level 2. So once you get that water pet, you just give your mule a few gold to buy a few malachites. They summon the pet, and then they don't even have to have a good swimming skill, because that's often one of the downfalls to killing that stupid fish, because no one wants to use their main character to kill the fish because it makes you KOS to the Priests of Life. It's a serious faction hit. So don't ever do it yourself. Make a mule, make a bot. And some folks use a monk because monks have the best melee skill right out of the gate, and they dual wield right out of the gate, so they do the most melee damage. Some will use wizards, which isn't a bad idea, because you just get in the pool and you just nuke the fish even though it's running from or swimming away from a distance. But a level 1, level 2 wizard doesn't have much mana either. So the best thing I found is make a mage, get the mage to level 2, and then have the pet go in the pool and kill the fish for you. And doing that, you can usually stay invisible. So even though, you might be KOS, you can get away with it as long as you don't let Enoch here get close to you. He gets close to you, he sees you kill that fish in front of him, he will mess you up immediately. So the best way to do it is wait until Enoch here walks away. Make sure your bot, your mule, is invisible, because they might be KOS to them already. And you really want to make sure Enoch walks away. He can't be right there and watch. And then you go and get on your other computer, because this is a True Box server, and you can only have more than one account on if it's separate computers. Once the fish is dead, you can loot it. That sucks. It killed 2 fish right away. So I guess I'm just going to leave that one, and someone might get lucky and loot it in time, because I'm not going to put it on that character, because I believe the fish is a no drop fish. Yes, no trade. So don't loot the fish with your mule. Never loot it with the mule. You got to loot it with the character that's going to be turning it in if you want to finish this quest. And again, never kill the fish yourself. Use a mule. And it took me just a second to send the pet in, because if you look, the level 1 pet, it spawns at level 5 or level 2. I'm sorry. It's a level 2 spell, and it spawns a level 5 pet. So it's pretty amazing. Let's make sure to refresh and viz on our mule here, so when they come back later. So there you go. That's the quickest and easiest way that I've learned to get the fish. And yeah, unfortunately we need to kill the little bugger. It's like a level 1 or level 2 critter. I think it's usually level 1, but I think I've seen it look like level 2. I don't know. There's times where that fish has way more hit points than it should, because Enoch likes to run around and buff the little bastard. He puts like cleric or paladin buffs or something on it. And I'm like, dude, why can't I kill this fish? It's just got way too much hit points. And I end up running out of mana or drowning or dying or something. Like Enoch shows up and kills me half the time. So that's why I started doing this method, where I actually make a mage. I go to the time and the trouble to get them up to level... what is this guy fighting? What? Oh, this NPC, I guess, started attacking him? Oh, man. That sucks. I don't know why. So the next step is we go to Urid's Crossing. I'm sorry, I got distracted by that fight. That's not something you see usually in cities. Very often, anyway. Well, I still got like 4 minutes left on my Spirit of the Wolf. I'm so happy we have translocators now. They work so much faster than the... I guess maybe he's a Shadow Knight? I don't know. Oh, invis. Okay. They want an invis. You got a group to invis, buddy. I hope the invis lasts long enough for them to get through. Yeah, I'm guessing that he's a Shadow Knight if he's getting attacked like that. There's no way that he's a paladin and getting attacked like that. So next we go to Uridin. As I was saying, so happy we got these translocators. If it wasn't for translocators, that, Shadow Knight probably would have been dead. Because he was able to just, have himself get ported right out of there. Waiting for the boats was tedious. It really was. I kind of just wish they would have had like the boats sitting there on the dock. You get up on the boat, you click like it is with what is it, Yakisha. You just go up to the boat, you click on the door, and boom, you're there. It's just not, you don't have to go through all that nonsense of being on the boat. I understand it's supposed to be immersive and it's a long journey and snooze. I'm over it. I just want to get my quests done. And I don't have the time to sit here for half an hour just waiting for the boat to come, and then another half an hour or an hour or whatever, how long it takes for the boat. So here's where we go. Blue Hawks. Okay. Go to Blue Hawks. We go to Geoard. tell me what the hell this name is, guys. His last name is Blue Hawk. That's easy enough to say. So Blue Hawk over here. We get Inaruk's Kiss of Death. Buy one of those, right? I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just showing this part of it just because I wanted to make a video and I wanted to thank nice people for being nice to me on this server. I've never, ever seen so many people do so many cool things. I thought I was the nice person in Everquest. You know, I try to give people stuff that I make all the time. And some folks have been cool enough and taken me up on my offers and left comments. And I like doing that. I like doing nice things for people. So you turn in the Kiss of Death, and she gives you Irid's Tonic. So now we got Irid's Tonic, the colindal fish, honey gem, and we got 20 keola nuts, because that's on an island in the middle of Ocean of Tears, and you just buy them, and it's easy, especially now on regular Everquest. You could buy a stack of 20. In old Everquest, and it's still like this on a server like P99, each one of these nuts is an individual item that takes a whole individual slot in your bag, in your inventory. It's very unpleasant. So you can only ever buy like maybe 4 or 5 at a time to leave in your bank or something, because who wants to fill up all their bags with 20 nuts? Because it would take up all the slots. It's very not fun. So now that I got what I needed, I could just gate back, and I believe I'm bound there in Rivervale, and from Rivervale I can get another Spirit of the Wolf buff and run to the EC tunnel, where I'm going to try to sell one of my Steins. I actually, funny story, sold one of these the other day while I was, I think, in Quanos. Was it Quanos or a Cannon or Rivervale? I don't remember. I think it might have been Rivervale, actually. And I get on the channel, just a regular channel, I think it was, a general chat, and I say, want to sell Stein and Magog? And someone, you know, actually said, yes, I'm interested. And I'm like, well, I'm over here in Rivervale, and I could send it to you through the parcel. And I'm kind of hoping and assuming they'll send me the money first. But we both had trust issues, because I was worried that if I sent them to Stein first, they'd, you know, get away with not sending me any money, or saying, well, I just think it's worth this, and just sending me like half or something. So... But no, they were honest, and I was honest. And it's funny because they said the exact same thing I was thinking. They said, well, send the Stein, and then I'll send you the money. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a bad idea. But I'm like, well, I guess if they get it and they run off, I'm just out of Stein, and I'll have to just quest it again, which sucks because you see it takes a while. But as soon as I sent a Stein, they did send the money, all 200. And I was like, oh, thank you. And they go like, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you were a scammer. Not going to lie. I thought you were a scammer. I thought you weren't going to be sending it. So I was like, well, that's okay. I thought you were a scammer. So we both had kind of a laugh. And but it ended up happy. You know, they got their Stein. I got my plat to buy spells and stuff. And all worked out right. So I think that's it for this video, but that's, you know, sort of some of the basics on questing the Stein and Magog. If you go and quest it, if you want the full rundown, I could do it. It's just sort of tedious, so maybe what I'll do is cut out the parts where it's just me running and go to where, you know, the turn-ins are, and just highlight and show the turn-ins or whatever. But you'll see this video, you can comment, you could say, we want to see all of it, the running and everything, or just the turn-in parts, or whatever. You know, you could tell me, you could dictate what I do. because you guys are awesome, and yeah, I don't mind listening to you. So thank you for watching. Remember, I do have a Patreon. I'd love to get more patrons. I've only got 4, holding steady at 4. Would love to have a few more. Please join us over there if you can. It's super cheap. I've got a super cheap tier now of, I think it's like $125 a month, and you can have early access to everything. Okay, or if you love me a little more or have a little more to spend, there's a $3 tier, and I think a $6 tier, and I think maybe a $12 tier, something like that. It's just whatever one you can afford, whatever one you want or feel like I deserve. You can pick that tier and become a patron, and you'll have my gratitude. And I think I might start putting like little credits at the end that show and list all the patrons, because I would like to say thanks to them, because the ones that have been going strong for months now, and I really appreciate you guys. You are the best. And those who also just subscribe on YouTube, you guys are awesome too. Thank you very much for subscribing. I'm at 500 subs now. How about getting another 500, and we might even be able to monetize this silly channel? That would be excellent. I would be ecstatic. It would buy me a pizza now and then or something, you know? So thanks for watching. Have a great day and a wonderful tomorrow.